My beloved child, I know the weight you have been carrying, even the weight you have learned to hide from everyone around you. I have seen the nights when you could not sleep, lying awake and wondering why the answer you had prayed for still seems so far away. You have walked through a long season of waiting, watching other lives appear to move forward while you wondered whether your own life had somehow been left behind. You have wondered if I saw you, if I remembered you, and if the breakthrough you once believed for would ever reach your hands. But listen to me now, right here in this moment, because the season of delay is coming to its appointed end. This day is carrying more significance than you can see with your natural eyes, and this is the precise time for a sacred document, a divine confirmation, to cross the threshold into your reality. Do not allow the exhaustion of yesterday to become the lens through which you interpret what I am doing today. The disappointment you have carried may have shaped your expectations, but it does not have the authority to define the way I choose to move or the way I choose to bring what I have prepared. What is approaching may come through a path you never considered, and through a person or circumstance you would never have predicted. If you hold too tightly to the picture you once formed of how I should answer you, you may overlook the very unveiling you have been asking me to bring. Stay close to me and remain attentive, because your breakthrough is not merely a distant possibility waiting somewhere beyond your reach. It is arriving with a restoration greater than what you may have imagined, and you will need to recognize it with eyes that have been freed from the disappointments of yesterday. Listen carefully, my dear child, because a significant moment is drawing near. Something of importance is about to be placed into your care, and it will carry a meaning that reaches far beyond a passing word or temporary experience. Think of it as a sacred sign of my presence, something that brings understanding and causes you to see your path, your identity, and the purpose you carry with greater clarity. Some things you once considered certain will be brought into question, while some limitations you accepted as permanent will begin to loosen and fall away. You are standing before a great unveiling, and this moment is not only about receiving knowledge. It will call you toward action, toward decisions, and toward a step that reaches beyond what you once believed possible for your life. My beloved child, do not treat these words as something light or ordinary, because this moment carries weight. Your journey up to this point is meeting what is still ahead of you, and what has happened before is becoming connected to what I am now bringing into view. You have been made ready through sorrow, through seasons of darkness, and through stretches of waiting that seemed as though they would never end. And now my dwelling place is opening before you, not through coincidence, but according to a purpose that existed long before you could see it. The stillness you recently felt was not evidence that I had withdrawn from you. What felt like silence was part of the gathering of strength for the presence that is now drawing near. So do not hold yourself back when this moment calls you forward. Tell others that this is not a time to remain frozen by fear, because the choices you make in this season carry lasting consequences. What is being restored is more than earthly provision. There is a spiritual inheritance that was once concealed, resisted, and buried beneath deception. What was held back for a time is now being brought toward restoration at the appointed moment. Do you understand, beloved, that there are blessings you have long believed were out of reach, because so much seemed to stand against you? There were assurances that pain, disappointment, and repeated setbacks tried to erase from your memory, especially during the moments when you came close to giving up. But I am the one who keeps my word, and I have forgotten none of the promises I have spoken. What belongs to you, even when its arrival has been delayed, has not been surrendered or taken away. You are standing at a turning point now, and what is coming will carry force. It will move like a powerful current, sweeping away hesitation, pretense, and the excuses that once kept you standing at the edge. It will bring you to a choice. Will you keep holding tightly to what is already past, because fear tells you it is safer? Or will you open your spirit to what is new, because you trust me? Will you pull back because the answer seems too wonderful to believe? Or will you trust that I, your loving Father, speak with certainty? Be attentive, my beloved child. Pay attentive to what is stirring within you in this moment. Do you sense something moving beneath the surface? Something your heart seems to recognize even while your mind struggles to understand it? That stirring is an assurance for my spirit, and your encounter with these words is not happening by accident. This is a direct movement of my presence at a critical moment in your life. There were others who sensed a summons and chose to disregard it, and there were souls who received an earlier prompting but allowed uncertainty to hold them back. They missed the particular moment that had been placed before them. Do not allow fear to write that story for you. Do not let your silence become a quiet agreement with the very thing that has been trying to make you withdraw from what I am saying. Speak to me. Remain ready while you wait, and make room within your spirit for what I am bringing. Close every entrance that I did not create, release the thoughts that keep you trapped in doubt, and allow your heart to become spacious enough to receive what is unfolding. A purpose is beginning to breathe. A period is coming to its close, and a passage that has remained shut for a long time is opening because its appointed time has arrived. You have been strengthened through what you have endured. You have shown faithfulness in matters that seem small, and now something greater will be entrusted to your care. It is not being placed in your hands so that you can hide it away, and it is not meant to remain only for your private benefit. What is coming is meant to be used, carried, and allowed to reach beyond you so that others can be touched by what I place within your care. The inheritance before you is more than provision. It is a confirmation of what I have planned for you and of what I have been preparing you to carry. What comes into your hands will touch more than your own circumstances. It will reach into your family line and become part of a story that extends beyond one generation. My beloved, the gift is drawing near, and it may arrive through someone you already know, or through something that looks completely ordinary at first. Do not become so focused on the appearance of the answer that you fail to recognize its meaning. The way it arrives is not the heart of the matter. Your readiness to receive it is. Remember, this is not random chance, but a meeting point between my will and your willingness to respond. If you remain prepared, no force and no shadow can prevent what I am about to reveal. So prepare yourself now. Rise from the place where fear has kept you waiting. Clear the entrance of your spirit of the doubts and restraints that have gathered there, and make room for my presence. I am drawing near, and what I am doing is beginning to move. Stand firm, my beloved child, not through fear but through trust, not through uncertainty, but through a quiet and sacred readiness, because what is coming will reach beyond you and touch what surrounds you. My precious child, you have never carried these struggles alone. I saw the moments when people you depended on disappointed you, and I saw the times when you waited for an answer from someone you believed would stand beside you, only to meet silence instead. I watched you to continue waiting, for my word to become visible, even while circumstances slowed down and things seemed to disappear from view. There were moments when you wondered whether your journey had somehow drifted away from the path I had intended for you. But understand this now, nothing escaped my notice. I have seen every part of what you have walked through, and nothing you endured was insignificant in my sight. I saw the weight behind what others could not see, and I knew the meaning of every season that seemed hidden from you. Nothing you worked through has been seen as small, my beloved child. I know the weight you have been carrying, even the parts you have rarely put into words. I know those quiet nights when you stayed awake wondering why the breakthrough you prayed for seemed to keep slipping beyond your reach. You have lived through a long season of waiting, watching the world around you appear to move forward while you wondered whether you had somehow been overlooked or even forgotten. But listen to me now, right here in this moment, because the season of delay is coming to the appointed end, and this day carries a significance you may not yet fully understand. This is more than another ordinary day passing before you. There is a precise moment in which a sacred document, a divine confirmation, is about to cross the boundary between what has been promised and what you can actually see. So do not allow the weariness you have carried from yesterday to cloud your spiritual vision now. What is approaching may come through a path you would never have predicted, and through people or circumstances you would never have expected. And if you hold too tightly to your old picture of how I must move, or whom I must use you, could overlook the very unveiling your heart has been longing for. Stay close to me here. What you have been hoping for is no longer merely something far away on the horizon. It is drawing near with a restoration greater than you have allowed yourself to imagine. But you will need to recognize it with a heart that has been released, as much as possible, from the disappointments of yesterday. Listen carefully, my dear one, because a significant moment is approaching, and something of real importance is about to be placed into your care. What I am bringing is not a passing word that disappears as quickly as it arrives. Receive it as a sacred sign of my presence, carrying an understanding that can change the way you see your path, your identity, and the purpose you carry. Some things you once considered certain will be questioned, and some limits you accepted as permanent will begin to fall away. You are standing before a revealing that calls for more than simply knowing what has been shown to you. It calls you to respond, to choose, and to step forward into something greater than you once thought possible. Hear me, beloved child. These words carry weight because this moment carries weight. What is happening is not meant to pass unnoticed. It is a meeting place between everything you have walked through and what is still waiting ahead of you. You have been prepared through sorrow, through long stretches of darkness, and through seasons of waiting that seem to have no end. And now what has been held within my purpose is beginning to open according to the purpose established long before you could see it. Understand what the stillness has meant. The quiet you recently felt was not my absence. There was strength being gathered for what was coming into view. Stir others and tell them that this is not the hour to remain withdrawn, because the choices made in this season carry lasting consequences. What is being restored is more than earthly provision. It is a spiritual inheritance that had remained hidden, restrained by opposing forces, and buried beneath deception. But now it is being brought forward at the appointed time. Do you understand, my beloved, that there were blessings you believed were beyond your reach, because forces of darkness had worked against them for so long? There were promises you nearly allowed pain, disappointment, and repeated setbacks to erase from your memory, especially during those moments when you wondered whether you had enough strength to continue. Yet I am the one who keeps his word, and I have forgotten none of what I spoke. What belongs to you, though its arrival has been delayed, has not been surrendered to someone else. You are standing at a decisive turning point now. What is approaching will carry force. It will move like a strong current, sweeping away hesitation, pretense, and the excuses that have kept you holding back. You will have to decide whether fear will keep you attached to what has already passed, or whether trust will allow you to open your spirit to what is coming. Will you stand at a distance because it seems too extraordinary to believe, or will you trust me as your loving Father, knowing that I speak with certainty? Be attentive, my beloved child. Pay attention to what is stirring within you in this moment, to that quiet movement in your heart that seems to recognize something before your thoughts can fully explain it. Perhaps your heart is quickened while listening, as though your spirit is responding to something your mind is still trying to understand. That is the assurance of my spirit, and you have not encountered these words by mere accident. This moment is connected to my presence and to what I am doing now. Some were warned and chose to dismiss the call. Some sensed what was coming but allowed uncertainty to hold them back until the moment intended for them passed. Do not allow that to become your story. Do not let your silence become an agreement with fear. Speak with me, remain ready while you wait. Close every entrance that I did not create, and make room within your spirit for what I am bringing. A purpose is beginning to breathe. The season is approaching its close, and a passage that opposing forces kept shut for a long time is now opening because its appointed time has arrived. You have been strengthened through what you endured, and you have shown faithfulness in matters that may have seemed small, but now something greater is being entrusted to you. It is not something to hide away or keep only for yourself. It is something to use, something through which the lives of others can also be touched. What is coming carries more than provision. It carries my assurance concerning what I planned for you and the inheritance connected to your life, your family line, and the generation that will come after you. My beloved, this gift is drawing near, and it may arrive through someone familiar or through circumstances that look completely ordinary at first. The appearance of the delivery is not the important part. What matters is whether your heart is ready to recognize and receive what I place before you. Remember this, it is not random chance. It is a meeting between my will and your willingness to receive what I am doing. If you are prepared, no force or shadow can prevent what I have determined to reveal. So make yourself ready now, my child. Rise within your spirit and clear away what has filled your heart with doubt or caused you to hold yourself back. I am drawing near, and my presence is moving. Your time is beginning to open into what it was prepared for. Stand firm, beloved, not through fear but through trust, not through uncertainty, but through a sacred readiness to receive what I am bringing. What lies ahead will reach beyond your own life and touch the circumstances and people around you. My precious child, you have not carried these struggles alone. I saw the moments when people you trusted disappointed you, and I saw the times you waited for an answer from those you believed would stand beside you, only to be met with silence. I saw every moment you patiently waited for my word to become visible, even while circumstances slowed, doors seemed concealed, and your journey appeared to have wandered away from what you believed I had intended. But hear this clearly now, nothing escaped my notice. I have seen every part of what you have endured, and none of the work you have done through this season has been insignificant to me. I saw what was happening when you could not see it yourself, and I have kept watch over what appeared hidden from your eyes. Now, at the right time, something that has remained covered in shadow is about to be brought into the light. What I am preparing to place into your care is grounded in truth, established by me and held under the strength of my presence. It was kept from your hands because of envy operating in the unseen realm, but that restraint is coming to an end. What was held back is now being released toward you. My beloved child, understand what this means. What is approaching is more than a simple gift. It is an opening in the spirit, a passage beginning to move after having remained closed. It was not closed because you lacked readiness, but because powers moved against the light within you and attempted to resist its arrival. They could not overturn my decision, though they tried to slow what I had appointed. They could not rewrite your path, though they tried to make you question your worth. Every time you stood against doubt, every time you chose to trust me again when disappointment gave you reasons to withdraw, I was preparing something specific for you. Listen closely, my child. What you are about to receive has a source deeper than what can be explained by earthly circumstances alone. It is connected to the fruit of your steady walk with me, to those moments when you continued trusting even while you were tired and chose not to give up. Consider this as entering into a wider expression of my design for you, a place where you will find what you need, and also witness promises that once seemed distant becoming visible. This good thing was delayed because others became uneasy about the strength I had placed within you and feared that you might move beyond where they were. But they misunderstood your heart. You were not trying to compete with anyone or force your way forward. You were simply yielding yourself to my direction. Your quiet, consistent trust showed me that you were ready for what I was preparing to place in your care. Do you understand this, my beloved? The things I spoke concerning your path long ago were hidden for a season, but hidden does not mean forgotten. They were waiting for the moment when they could appear according to my timing, and that moment is here. What was withheld from you, misrepresented, or unfairly taken away is being restored, not merely in fragments, but in fullness, not merely through hints, but through evidence that makes my hand unmistakable. I have missed nothing. I have seen the heart that remained steady when there was little outward evidence to encourage you. Now I declare that what seemed invisible will be brought into order, and what I am giving you will reach beyond your own life, touching those around you and those who will come after you. It belongs within a larger purpose for your life, and within what I intend to accomplish through you. What is happening will shape how you see, influence what you speak, and strengthen your walk in the spirit I have already placed within you. Paths will open before you, not because you forced them apart, but because they were waiting for the proper time. You will enter places you once mentioned only in private conversations with me, and you will find yourself welcomed into spaces where you once wondered whether you belonged. Because you walked with humility, I will bring you toward the place I intended for you. So prepare yourself for more than simply receiving what is coming. Prepare to carry its responsibility. The spiritual growth will bring greater influence and greater things to care for, but you will not walk through them alone. My spirit will guide your inner being, helping you recognize each step as it comes. And what once felt confusing will begin to become clear. This is a time when I am bringing things into focus, lifting you above the doubts that others placed upon you so you can know that I am holding you. My dear one, stand upright in your spirit and prepare your heart. Lay down the shame, the exhaustion, and that old feeling that you are somehow never enough. What I am giving is not reserved for those who believe they have lived perfectly. It is for those who have surrendered themselves to me. Even when you were wounded, frightened, or wrestling with doubt, you remained and you kept moving forward. That faithfulness is part of why I am now entrusting this good thing to you. So let your heart become quiet and look ahead with expectation. Do not wait in constant anxiety, questioning whether I will do what I have said. Wait with the peace that comes from knowing I remain unchanged. Open your heart even when you cannot understand every detail, because your trust rests in who I am rather than in your ability to explain everything. Receive what I say with steady faith, standing upon the certainty of my word. Then you will see what was hidden become visible, and what was restrained begin to move freely. Because I began this work within you, and I will bring it to completion in the way I have determined. My dear child, what once existed only as a promise is now moving toward tangible reality. What was delayed and slowed in the unseen realm through the worries and dark intentions of others has reached the time I appointed. And I, your faithful God, who saw the quiet strength you carried through all of it, tell you this: the waiting is ending now. Those moments when you sensed that something good was near, when you felt breakthrough or help approaching, and then watched the feeling disappear, were not simply products of your imagination. They were moments in which I was speaking to you through the quiet, allowing you to sense that something was taking place beyond what your eyes could see. What felt like scattered hints were glimpses of a struggle surrounding the path I had prepared for you, and the good things I had marked for you. I saw every moment. Nothing was hidden from me. I saw the nights when you woke with that strange awareness that something was missing. And I saw the times your heart began to race because you sensed that something significant was close, only for the feeling to fade again. Those moments carried signals from my presence, bringing direction, communication, and peace. Yet I know the disappointment that followed sometimes made you question those inner impressions, and you wondered whether what you sensed truly came from me, or whether it was simply something your own heart desperately wanted. You asked yourself whether you had misunderstood, whether you had been wrong. But hear me now, you were not wrong. What you sensed was real, and what you could not yet see was the struggle taking place beyond the limits of your ordinary understanding. Recently, the one who opposes used his familiar strategy, filling your thoughts with doubt and whispering words designed to exhaust your spirit. He wanted you to believe that nothing was coming, that the hope you carried was only the echo of your own desire. He wanted you to conclude that what belonged to you had vanished, been given to someone else, or moved permanently beyond your reach. But my dear one, I remain the same. I am steady even in the middle of every storm, and I say this clearly: no person, no system, no earthly power, and no unseen force can take away what I have determined for you. Hold this truth close, because when I bring something forward, its fulfillment does not depend upon the kindness of others, or upon the way circumstances happen to be arranged in this world. The portion I have appointed for you, recorded by me in my own place, cannot be cancelled, diminished, or transferred to another. I am just, and I determine the proper time for every matter, and I do not allow those who have continued faithfully through the waiting to walk away empty-handed from what I have appointed for them. And I do not allow those who have continued faithfully, even when the waiting became exhausting, to walk away from what I have appointed for them. So do not let what you see in front of you trouble your understanding any longer, and do not allow the long stretches of silence to convince you that I have stopped speaking, because silence has never meant that I have stopped working. While you were looking around and wondering why nothing seemed to be changing, things were already moving forward. Do you understand why, my dear one? Your readiness for the sudden movement that is coming has been formed through your decision to remain rooted, even when you had every reason to become discouraged. There were people around you who laughed, questioned you, or told you that what you hoped for would never happen. But I allowed them to speak, and I allowed them to watch, because they too will see the moment when I lead you into a season where the words I have spoken concerning you begin to appear before their eyes. My beloved child, guard your mind carefully now. Do not let exhaustion persuade you to settle for a smaller understanding of what I have said, and do not let old wounds teach you conclusions that turn you away from the very word I am bringing near to you. What you have been longing for is no longer as distant as it once seemed. It is moving toward you sooner than you imagined, and when it comes, it will not arrive as a faint trace or a single drop, but as wave after wave, until what was held back is brought into the light and made whole. My child, I have watched you in every condition, not only on the days when you felt strong, but also in the moments when you felt as though you had nothing left to give. I know the prayers that never made it past your lips, the words you could not bring yourself to say, and the moments when you wanted to stop but somehow continued, because a small place within you still trusted that I would act. And today I tell you that I am acting, and that action concerns you, your path, and the clarity that is beginning to come into your life. The things that once made you feel mocked, the circumstances that seemed too heavy to carry, and the moments when you were pushed aside without explanation will become evidence of what I have done. This is not so you can prove yourself to those who laughed at you, and it is not so you can boast over anyone. It is so. My name may be honored, and so your life can stand as a testimony that I, the one true God, remember those who continue to walk with me. So do not remain silent forever, and do not allow any word I have spoken concerning you to fall away from your heart. Prepare yourself again. Prepare your heart, and clear both the inner places within you and the spaces around you, so there is room for what I am about to bring forth. Think again about the hopes you once laid down, because you could no longer bear the disappointment, and gather the pictures of your future that you once believed had been broken beyond repair. This is the very season in which I will breathe life into what appeared to have died, allowing what seemed lost to become alive again. What once felt unreachable can become the beginning of something new. My beloved child, as you are looking at these words and perhaps wondering why they have found you now, understand that something much greater is quietly moving beneath what you can see. A sacred communication, one that does not originate merely from human hands but is being confirmed by my power from above, is being sent with purpose. It is moving through the confusion that was meant to keep you from recognizing what I am doing. It carries a serious declaration from my realm concerning the path I established for you before you could understand any of it, and you did not know that behind what appeared to be ordinary circumstances, I had already begun sending this toward you. Its arrival is not confined by the rules you can see around you, yet every step you have taken recently, every moment when you chose to keep going, and every tearful prayer you lifted toward me has been part of a sequence of movement that I have not yet allowed you to see completely. And now, even on a day that may look ordinary from the outside, the power of what I have been doing is about to become visible. Oh, my child, I know how tired your heart has become from carrying hope for so long. I have watched you reach for hope, only to find yourself falling back into another disappointment, and I know how deeply that cycle has worn you down. But do not allow your exhaustion to dim your spiritual sight, because what is approaching cannot be stopped by the powers that have tried to stand against it, and it will be placed directly before you, and when you finally hold it, something deep within you will tremble. Your spirit will awaken to the reality of what you are seeing, and tears may come not because you are grieving, but because you will feel the weight of realizing that my promises were true all along. The communication I am bringing is more than a reminder of something I once said. It is evidence that what I speak does come to pass. As you take it in, you will encounter things you once believed I had forgotten. You will see old declarations concerning your life that had been hidden from view, aspirations you slowly stopped talking about because they seemed to have died, and words that once stirred something inside you before the circumstances around you gradually covered that fire. Then, suddenly, those things will begin to live again, and you will understand that I remembered every one of them. You will realize that I was never late. I was waiting for the precise moment when what I had prepared could be revealed without the things standing in the way of its full expression. And along with what you expected, there is something you did not see coming, a holy passing on of influence. I am not merely repairing what you lost, nor am I simply giving you what you once needed but felt unable to ask for. I am entrusting you with a greater measure of influence and a spiritual responsibility you were not yet prepared to carry. But now you have walked through seasons of growth, and you have been healed through wounds that once shaped the way you saw yourself and others. You have learned to choose kindness where harshness would have been easier, and because of what has happened within you, you are now able to carry what I am placing into your hands. What will surprise you will not only be its size, but the realization that every part of your journey was leading toward this point. The rejection you endured, the doors that closed, and even relationships you once believed you needed but eventually lost, all carried a purpose within the preparation. Each one became part of the process through which you were being made ready for what you can now hold. And as I entrust this to you, I am also giving you a new place within the unfolding of my sacred purpose for your life. My child, prepare your spirit for more than simply receiving. Prepare yourself to carry what comes, to hold it with care, and to use it rather than display it. What I am placing in your hands is not a reward meant to become a trophy for your success. It is a resource entrusted to someone I have set apart for this purpose. It is meant to move beyond you. What you receive is not simply something to admire. It is evidence that your life is moving beyond receiving good things for yourself and becoming a way through which my goodness can reach other people. My purpose in choosing you was never limited to your own elevation. It also concerns what can be lifted through you. The place where you once experienced brokenness will become a place from which others can find healing and mending. You will encounter names that surprise you, including people you have never met, people who have quietly carried you in prayer when you had very little strength left for yourself. There were those who stood before me on your behalf in silence when you could barely keep going, and even some who once walked away from you will one day see you rise, not so they can be humiliated, but so they can witness the truth of my strength. My beloved child, as this message draws nearer to you, do not allow fear to rise against what is coming. Do not give doubt enough room to convince you that you are unworthy, because what I am doing is not founded upon your perfection. It rests upon the steady trust you continue to give me, even when no one was watching and no one knew what was happening within you. I saw every one of those moments, and now I am bringing forth what has grown from what I witnessed. Understand this clearly, my child. Every barrier that has stood between you and understanding is now being removed, and what clouded your vision is being moved aside. As this truth settles within you, even the atmosphere around you may begin to feel different. What once seemed distant in the spiritual realm will become more real to your awareness, because I am making my presence known. The appointed time has arrived, and it is time for you to step beyond the place where you have been hidden. It is time for you to stop living as though hope was never meant to reach you. Now is the moment to step into the place I have prepared for you, the place where the one I have chosen and cherished can belong fully to me. Do not treat this moment as ordinary, because it is a sacred point in your journey. Here is the dividing line where what was taken from you comes to an end, and what I am restoring begins to become real again. Even now my unseen realm is meeting your life, and conditions in the spirit are changing. You are standing at a turning point whose importance can be understood most deeply by those who remain close to me. There are eyes watching you now, and some are watching because they are beginning to see what they were certain would never happen. Those who once ignored you believed your future had been buried beneath your difficulties and quiet seasons. What they did not understand was that I, the one who governs every moment, never withdrew a single word I had spoken concerning you. Do you understand what was happening while you felt overlooked? There were people who used your quietness as an opportunity to speak against you, whispering words that wounded you and ridiculing you as though you had no place among those who walk rightly before me. They went beyond doubt. They tried to conceal opportunities before you and discourage you from moving forward. Some appeared as helpers, friends, or even people who seemed to follow me, while secretly aligning themselves with influences that sought control. They used methods that did not come from me to wear you down, cloud your thoughts, and place a deep sadness upon your spirit. They believed your exhaustion could become something they could use against you. But they were mistaken. Every hidden plan formed against you is now canceled, and every place where wrong power was exercised is losing its strength. Wherever harmful things were spoken over your name, wherever wrongful practices were used to restrain you, those places are being cleared by my strength. And there is something more. What kept your name from being recognized is being removed. Your name had been surrounded by expectations of failure, as though you would never succeed, but I have removed that label. Your name, once covered by waiting, rejection, and the fear of never being seen, is now being spoken clearly in my presence. I have declared, this name belongs to me. This name carries importance. This name belongs to one who remains firm with me. My cherished child, do not become troubled as things begin to come into the light. Those who appeared good while carrying hidden intentions against you will be revealed for what they truly are. Relationships you believed came from me, but which were actually being used to hinder your progress, will come to an end, and certain paths will close suddenly. Do not mourn every closing as though you are losing something meant to remain. You are being purified, and I am clearing the road before you, so the place where you will receive what I am bringing can be made ready. There is no longer room for what does not belong, or for connections that do not truly come from my spirit. Now you will begin to see that those who tried to keep you bound can no longer disturb the quietness within you. The troubling dreams, the unexplained heaviness when you woke, and the sudden waves of fear will cease. The grip is being released, and the struggle is coming to an end. You have come through it, and you have prevailed. You no longer have to carry this alone or remain hidden simply to feel safe. I am the place where you find your strength, and I speak on your behalf. When I stand beside you, no one can oppose you without also opposing me. So stand firm, my cherished one. Do not surrender again to the wrong influence that came near you, and do not retreat because of the wounds you carried from the past. You are more than someone who survived. You are the one I chose to live fully, not merely to endure. You are the one who passes through difficulty and comes through it unharmed. You will stand where you can be clearly seen, no longer governed by the way others have chosen to look at you. Beginning from this day, every harmful word spoken concerning you will be turned around. The words that predicted your failure will become part of the testimony of what I have done in your life, and the words that brought you tears will become evidence through which my truth is demonstrated. The paths that were deliberately blocked before you, I, myself, will open completely. No power will succeed in closing what I have commanded to open. My cherished child, listen closely within your spirit, because what is now being revealed carries meaning beyond your own life. It concerns the journey of many others as well. It is my word to you, certain and true, arriving at the precise moment when your spirit is prepared to receive its meaning. When you open yourself to it, you will discover a history that belongs to you but was hidden beneath deception, and shaped over time by the one who stands against me. The truth was concealed, not because of your own mistakes, but through a long pattern of deception, broken trust, and deliberate harm. It began before you, affected your parents, and reached into places within you far deeper than you may have understood. But today I say to you that the time for correction has arrived. The shadows can no longer keep the truth concealed. What has remained silent can no longer be covered over. I am the one who knows every moment, and I have declared that the appointed time has come. My command is this: what was taken from my child must be returned. Perhaps you thought this moment was only about material provision, as though I were simply placing money in your hands to make up for past hardship. But, my dear child, what I am bringing forward reaches far beyond wealth. I am addressing a deep imbalance that has weighed upon your family line through generations. It marks the end of a hidden hindrance that caused those before you to stumble just as they approached meaningful progress. Think of the hopes your parents carried and the opportunities that seemed close, only to disappear through circumstances they could not understand. Their struggle was not because they lacked desire or effort. They were facing something they could not see. A portion of what belonged to your lineage was taken through deception, hidden agreements, and unseen bonds. I saw it all. The harmful promises, concealed actions, and forces that sought to keep your family suppressed are exposed before me. Understand this, my child. My decisions are founded upon truth. I have seen your entire journey, and today I declare my support for you. Not because you were flawless, but because you refused to surrender. I saw your prayers, your tears, and the burden you carried for yourself and for those who came before you. Because I have what was in your heart, I will restore what was appointed for you and what was intended for those who came before you. This restoration will move through you. You are chosen to break the pattern and move from limitation into abundance. What is coming will reach beyond your own life. It will breathe life into places that seemed barren and touch your entire lineage. What human memory forgot, I preserved. What the world rejected, I kept according to my design. I have always seen you, so prepare yourself. Receive this word within your spirit, because the season of restraint, delay, and denial has reached its appointed end. I am beginning something new through you, and your life will become evidence that what I promised was never forgotten. Release your doubt. Do not allow old memories or the voices that dismissed you to become louder than my declaration. You have been released, and you will recover what rightfully belongs to you, including what was intended for those who come after you. Through you, this struggle will come to an end. Through you, your lineage will be lifted. Through you, my light will reach places that were once covered in darkness. My beloved, I know the thoughts that have weighed upon you. I saw the nights when you wondered why others seemed to move forward while you remained waiting. I heard your exhaustion and saw the moments when you wondered whether I had overlooked you. But that was never the truth. The doubts you carried were echoes of fear created by the waiting. I did not miss you. I kept you under my care because you were being prepared for a specific season. And now that season has arrived. What was once humble will be lifted. Doors that were closed will open, not because people suddenly changed, but because I have appointed the way before you. Nothing can close what I have commanded to open. You once thought my promises had disappeared, but every word remains secure. They were waiting for the precise moment when they could become visible in your life. And now I declare that it is accomplished. The season of delay, hiddenness, and restriction is ending. What was concealed will be revealed. What was held back will move forward. What was taken will be restored. But listen carefully, the messenger carrying this word may not be the person you expect. Do not limit me to familiar people or predictable circumstances. I may use someone ordinary to introduce an extraordinary chapter, or someone you have never known to carry the message that opens your way. Keep your spirit open, not only to what I provide, but to how I provide it. If you cling too tightly to your old expectations, you may overlook what I am placing before you. I was not late. Certain things needed time to settle, and obstacles needed to be removed. Now the way has been prepared. I am not giving you another vague possibility. I am bringing assurance concerning your calling and beginning a new season, that this moment carries sacred weight, not fear. I am silencing the voices that spoke against you and breaking the restraints that held you back. Trust me. Trust that I have not forgotten you, and that these words have reached you for a reason. The dreams that returned, the signs you noticed, and the stirring you felt concerning your purpose were not meaningless. They were my quiet, leading, guiding you toward this point. And now I am doing more than speaking. I am acting. You will begin to see movement. What felt restrained will start to flow. Lost connections may return. Unexpected doors may open, and places you never imagined entering will become available to you. These gifts will awaken abilities within you that you once hesitated to use. You will step out of places where you felt safe and into the place I prepared for you. You will no longer walk as someone searching for what belongs to them, but as someone entrusted with it. My beloved child, you stayed the course. You listened and endured when the waiting was long and the path was unclear. I saw the hunger within you that refused to disappear. Your faithfulness may have been unseen by others, but it has been recorded before my throne. Now hear this. The appointed hour has arrived. What I am releasing is not merely for your comfort. It carries a sacred assignment. You are being called to carry this inheritance not only for yourself, but as a channel of blessing to others, to your lineage, and to a generation hungry for truth. Prepare your heart to receive what was delayed, to walk in the authority restored to you, and to become a living testimony of my justice. I am with you in this unveiling. My Spirit will guide your steps, and the work I began within you I will bring to completion. So, my dear child, rise in trust. Receive this with gratitude and reverence. This moment is holy and has been prepared for you. Receive my peace, my covering, and the strength to carry what is coming. Stand firm, my beloved, because my favor rests upon you in this hour.